We're at our storage and test facility. Let's see what we're rolling out today. Looks like we got an Acura TLX sports sedan, but not just any TLX, the all-new Type S. Says so right on the grill. This is miles ahead of the standard TLX, as we'll see real quick in this video. Nice looking car, since they charge an extra $500 for this red metallic paint. Makes it look even better. And with the quad exhaust tips, you know there's something special under the hood. To understand what the S-Type is all about, look under the hood. Instead of the 2-liter, 272 horsepower 4-banger, we get in the standard model. Here we get a 3-liter V6 turbo, 355 horsepower, 354 pounds-feet of torque at 1400 RPM, to a 10-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive. Clean fuel economy is 19 mpg in the city, 24 on the highway, and 21 overall. We'll be taking this out in the real world to see if that's true. With that package, you get these 20-inch aluminum wheels, high-performance Pirelli tires, monster-sized brakes. You know we're getting serious here. And here's some of the luxury goodies you get with the package. I'll just scroll down real quick. This jumps the 38 grand price of the 4-cylinder up to 54,625. The only option is the metallic paint at $500. Everything else is standard. And for that hefty fee, you think you get a spare tire, but I don't know. Let's look under the lid and see what happens. We always check when we get a vehicle. Nope, no spare tire, but at least now you know where the battery is. You do get a cheesy tire repair pump. Doesn't do you much good if you have a cut sidewall. The car makers tell us they do away with the spare tire to save weight, with this monster weighing a whopping 4,200 pounds. I don't think it's going to make much difference. We all know they're doing it to save money. Hey, it adds up. $30-40 for a tire and a jack, multiply it times a million in sales. Saving them a lot of money. That's for sure. You can always buy a spare tire after you buy the vehicle. I don't know if it'll fit down there. I haven't tried it. And after checking for a spare tire, the second thing we do is take the headlights out in the dark and see how they perform. Instead of doing that at the beginning of the video, now we're doing it at the end of the video. So make sure you go to the end and watch the entire show here. A lot of bulbs in there. Gonna be interesting to see what happens. Okay, let's look at the cabin. The info screen does not have a touch feature. If you want to control everything, it's down here by this finger touch pad. Easy to use when you're sitting still, not so easy when you're driving. Takes some getting used to. Practice makes perfect. We do get a volume knob for the radio. Certainly appreciated that. And a separate button for moving radio stations. Appreciated that too. And my favorite item, the push button controls for the transmission. This is far superior to a stick. First of all, it doesn't take up any room like a stick. Secondly, when you turn the vehicle off, it automatically goes into park, where a stick you have to put it in manually. You might put it in the wrong slot. And what's really important on this is you never have to take your eyes off the road to operate this. It's all touch feel. Flat for park, the dip for reverse, flat for neutral, the button for drive. You don't have to look at it. And like a stick, you do have to. Totally superior. I wish all vehicles are going to be push button, but eventually they will. You'll see. But if you want to choose your gears manually, there's paddle shifters on the steering wheel to do so. And mounting them on the wheel where they belong, not the steering column like the Italians do, which is a stupid place to put them. Here, they're always within reach. You always know where they're at. Yeah, if they're on the steering column, you know where they're at. They're where you can't reach them when you're taking corners. They belong here in the wheel. And we got two nice large cup holders right next to the controls. And people ask me, what happens if you spill your coffee and it goes down in the grooves here? What do you do then? Honestly, I don't know. I don't want to find out if it's my car. Keep the lid on the coffee, I guess. Oh yeah, the glove box has lots of room. First half of the video show and tell is over. Second half, we're going to go out and do some driving. And then third half, at the end, we'll test the headlights. So let's do it. And as we do all our videos, gonna take some mild speed humps at 50 miles per hour. See how the suspension performs on impact. Bump number 1. Number 2. Smooth enough. Here comes number 3. And the tall, rough one. Smooth enough for me. Of course, the big tires, you hear some thumping, no big deal. And my goodness, I almost forgot to show you the dynamic mode control. Gives comfort mode, normal mode, sport and sport plus mode, or individual programs. Just turn the magic knob. Take your pick. And most of our driving will be in normal, unless I tell you otherwise. I've been driving this vehicle for a couple days, and my highway mileage is 24 mpg, exactly what is claimed on the window sticker. Makes commuting 19 to 20 if I take it slow and easy in the normal mode. Hit the sport mode and hit the mountains. Well, we'll find out if we take it out tonight. Alright, let's take this out in the country and do some curved road driving. Gotta be careful out here because they got a jail just waiting for people to get caught speeding. No one in there tonight, could be me. They gotta catch me first. Alright, the first thing I've noticed, this power steering is extremely quick and responsive. Perfect for driving on roads like this. Secondly, I put it in the sport mode, so now I have a nice sounding exhaust. I think it's piped in through the speakers, I'm not really sure, but it sure sounds better. And now the transmission's in a sport shift mode, keeping the revs up. Get all that power we want. And these performance summer tires, combined with all-wheel drive and good weight distribution, this thing's cornering like a slot car. I'm very, very impressed. I've been driving a while and these brakes are perfect. Excellent feel, great response. Don't seem to be getting hot, certainly no fade. What a sweet, sweet car this is. And let's not forget the engine power and all that bottom end torque thanks to the turbo. I can definitely say I would match this against any Audi, BMW, Mercedes in this price class. In fact, in some ways, the Acura is better. Acura, you finally got it right. What a fantastic car this is. I'm very, very impressed. Hang on. Woo! What a sweet ride. You know, I could drive like this all night. This is great fun and a fantastic car. But I'm not going to videotape it all because the video would be way too long. So what's my take on this Acura TLX Type S after a week of driving? Well, it's like this. Normally, if someone would ask me if I would purchase an Acura, I tell them no. Not because there's anything wrong with Acura, just that if I'm moving up to a luxury brand, I want more than 4 cylinders under the hood, and I certainly want more than 300 horsepower. If I want a 4-cylinder with less horsepower, I'd get something out of the Honda lineup. But this Type S changes everything. Here we have a nice vehicle that can actually compete with the German sports sedans, and a nice Acura that I would actually buy if I had the money. This has what I'm looking for, a very strong engine, superb handling, some of those perfect brakes I've ever used, and that Japanese build quality that won't be falling apart when the warranty goes out like the European vehicles do. Yep, this is definitely one Acura I would buy if I had the dough. Unfortunately, I don't. So it's time to wrap up this video. We'll do that with the headlight test we talked about earlier. Look pretty bright. Alright, it's dark enough. Let's take these lights out and see what they do. And I see, even though I have it on low beam, I have all 4 bulbs on each side lit up. Now we got the high beams. Definitely brighter, coming out from somewhere. And here's what the taillights look like. Long and thin. With emergency flashers. Not the largest and brightest I've ever seen, but will do, I suppose. And the front. And on the mirror. Yeah, the emergencies are definitely easier to see if you turn the headlights off, that's for sure. Especially on the rear. And here's what the rear view camera looks like. Get close up and further away. And all the controls light up pretty good. Lots of gadgets in here that you need to see in the dark, and not a problem. That red DH cluster gets a lot of attention, easy to see. Alright, for the headlights. Here I have the low beam on a wall 100 feet away. Extremely bright, but very, very low. Here are the brights. Definitely very, very bright. So here we have the brights on the building, 130 yards away, fence line 80 yards away with the vehicle behind there. The sleeping security guard. Go to low beam. Just barely reaches out. Okay, for city driving, on the back country roads, I think we'll need more light out there. So I've been taking another look at these headlights since we do the high beam and low beam setting, and it appears instead of 4 bulbs on each side, it appears we have 4 assemblies with 2 bulbs each, one for low beam, one for high beam. There'll be 8 bulbs on each side for a total of 16, if I'm observing this correct. If I'm wrong, make a comment in the comment section. Bottom line, I suspect these headlight assemblies are going to be very expensive to replace, so don't let them get broken. Might cost you some coin. Well, we'll say this for the high beams. They definitely light up the signs on the freeway going back about a half a mile. I got nothing else better to do tonight, so let's take this out in the sticks, country roads, and see how these lights do. Notice the cutoff on the low beam. Out here, better keep the high beam on, unless you want to hit a cow or something. So let's do it. When you switch the vehicle from comfort, normal, sport, you get a nice light show. You might have already seen this in the daytime test, but it sure looks cooler at night. Especially the bright red sport. There we go. So in this road, we'll have it in the sport mode. After all, what else on a road like this, right? Certainly not comfort. I was hoping this Acura would have active headlights, the definition meaning the headlights turn in the same direction as the steering wheel, which comes in great when taking corners, but apparently we don't get that. Maybe next year. I'm having problems seeing things at a distance with these low beams. Just isn't working out. We have a lot of wildlife out here, so I guess we're going to have to leave the high beams on. That's what they're for. Especially when driving this quick. And just one more time, I'll demonstrate the difference between the high beam and low beam on curved dips. See a big difference there. That's one thing I don't understand about some manufacturers. They want to give us powerful LEDs, but they want to give us a lens that cuts off the beam at long range. kind of defeating the purpose in the first place. Just have to adapt. Some are fantastic, some not so much. Well, this concludes our 50-mile headlight test, condensed in just a few minutes. Hope you enjoyed it. For what it's worth, I give the high beams an A+ rating. The low beams, I'll go maybe B- or C+. More than adequate for city driving, but on the backcountry roads, the cutoff is just too short for my taste, maybe not yours. But either way, I would still buy this car. I'm very, very impressed thus far. That was a nice country drive. This thing is a real rocket. Acura did a very, very nice job on this vehicle. Great fun to drive.